man.
A few days ago, we discussed some quotes from Mad Max Fury Road director George Miller about not wanting to return to direct the franchise due to the exhausting production of the film. But now it looks like that may not have been the case. In an interview with The Wrap, Miller said the following: "That was a completely garbled interview. I was in New York and it was so noisy, and the journalist was asking me questions on a red carpet at the National Board Review. She completely got the wrong fragments of information that were just not true. I said, no, another Mad Max movie will not be next, and she took that to mean I never wanted to make another Mad Max. It won't necessarily be next, but I have 2 more stories." Mark, do you think George Miller was misinterpreted, and will he be returning to direct more Mad Max movies?
Yeah, I think George Miller is coming back to do more Mad Max movies, and I think I take him at his word. It was a little noisy. Red carpets can get crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on at the same time, so I just kind of believe this story. I don't think it was any nefarious plot on the part of the reporter to get out misinformation. I don't think George Miller was drinking all day and then decided he said, I'm not going to do a Mad Max. I think that just mistakes happen sometimes. I think this is one of those incidents.
Barry?
I think that he is definitely going to move forward with making another Mad Max movie, but in terms of how they changed the quote, I mean, if you read the original thing, I kind of believe the reporter that he said these words, because not only did he say he wasn't going to do another Mad Max movie, but it was followed by like 2 or 3 sentences of that movie was the hardest thing I ever had to make, and about how he wouldn't want to have to take that plane flight even. So it seemed a little bit of a stretch that he's like, I was misquoted.
And I just read that. I read into that. Even at the time, it's like, okay, he doesn't want to do that next. It's like he just wants to do a smaller project and then maybe get back into Mad Max. I mean, like, the guy's a young 73 or whatever he is. He really is.
He also never specifically mentioned directing. I mean, he could be involved in any capacity. None of these quotes, the quote before or the quote now, says anything about directing. So for all we know, maybe he will direct something else next, and then after that, he will focus on producing or even executive producing a Mad Max movie.
Well, I don't know if he's misinterpreted or not, but I'm happy that he's saying he's going to be involved. I hope he's directing. I feel like Mad Max is something like how Terminator should have been with James Cameron. There should have been only James Cameron Terminator movies. I feel like there should only be George Miller Mad Max movies. And it was like my #1 movie of the year. I know a lot of people out there have written it's an overrated film, and I respect your opinion. I don't agree with it. But the one thing I keep reading some people saying are, oh, directing action is easy. And it's like, no, it's not. It's one of the hardest things you can do. Like, maybe directing like just explosions and this and that. But if you want to actually direct action well, you have to take in consideration like all the flow and the pacing and the spatial between all the different actors and all the action happening. It's one of the hardest things to do, and Mad Max Fury Road nailed it. So I think a lot of people are underappreciating how good that movie is.
When I think about directing anything in general, I break out in hives. Like, it's just not any responsibility I ever want to take on. But an action movie, when you're watching Mad Max and you think about how you would have to compose those shots and get all of those things working together simultaneously, the stunts that were going on there, the action sequences, because you're not just doing action, you're also doing, it's like a big car chase for 2 hours. That sounds impossible. Like, that dude did an amazing job. You can't overrate that movie. You really can't.
If you freeze frame almost any fight sequence in Mad Max and just pick out all the things that are going on in the frame, it's incredible how much they have to orchestrate and how much they have to just figure out that, oh, this shot matches with this shot. This is how we're going to paint the geography so people know where we are. You are never lost in Mad Max Fury Road, and that alone is like one heck of an achievement.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at Collider.